IllinoisJobPost.com. It's your one-stop site to find local, full-time, and part-time job openings. Best of all, it's completely free for job seekers to access anytime, day or night. So if you're ready to land a job close to home, make IllinoisJobPost.com your first stop. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. Brought to you by your friends at the regional radio stations.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guests in studio this morning, Jean Johanns and Sylvia Comfort with DeWitt County Senior TRIAD. First of all, Jean, pull that microphone a little bit closer to you there so we can hear you. And welcome. How are you today?
Doing great. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. And Sylvia Comfort, good to see you again, Sylvia. How are you?
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks for coming out, guys, and talking with us. We're going to talk Senior TRIAD and next month's Senior Academies in DeWitt County. But first, Sylvia, let's start with you because I know you were instrumental in the beginning of TRIAD and these Senior Academies. Tell us about TRIAD. What is this program?
Well, TRIAD is an organization that started mostly by sheriff's departments. They get the ball rolling and they bring together seniors and any agencies that work with seniors to help make sure that seniors are getting the best information and keeping themselves safe. It started nationally in about the late 80s, and we were able to
I didn't know this was a national program.
It's a very,
very
national.
Okay, got it.
And so then we were able to start one here in the early 2000s. And Sheriff Schaffner, way back there, was very instrumental in getting us going and starting. I remember our first meetings were always at the Sheriff's Department. And you'd have to get yourself buzzed in and all that kind of good stuff. But,
Sure.
They were always very friendly about while we were there. But you think about a stool, and you think about a stool might have 3 legs. If one of those legs is missing, the program is not going to work. So you have the sheriffs, you have law enforcement, the police department, you have the seniors themselves, and then you have the agencies that work with seniors. So here we had, the AAA, we had, all of the different agencies, RSVP, we had domestic violence, we had all the different agencies that work with seniors. And then we had a very large contingency of seniors who also were there to make sure that their needs were met. And that was one of the, if you don't know what the seniors need, you can't assume that you do know. And so, we started out with asking a lot of questions, what do seniors need? What are some of the, and we knew nationally what some of the things they were having to deal with, some like identity theft and burglary and, safe driving and different things like that, drug interactions and things. So we then looked at how can we help the most. And so the Senior Academy was born out of that. And so the Senior Academy originally was just set in Clinton, and we would have three weeks of different kinds of classes that, we did everything from balance and, staying safe. We looked at neighborhood watch type organizations and things like that.
Right.
And just did a lot of different things to meet the needs that we had here in the county. Some of them worked, some of them didn't, just simply because there wasn't enough need for it at that point. So we made sure that everybody's voices were heard, and that's the important part. The sheriff's department, and the law enforcement, yes, they're the they're runners and things like that, but it's really run by the seniors themselves.
Right. Well, and bringing all those individuals together really gives a good sense of, what, like the Friendship Center is encountering on the day-to-day, what law enforcement is seeing on a day-to-day, maybe what the hospital is. You've got all these voices that interact with seniors that can tell you all the information you're looking for, and to make it local. That was that seems to be the theme of another point you're hitting on, is you made this a localized program that impacted the people on the streets in the community of Clinton.
Yes, and that's how it became a success. If you try and bring in a program from someplace else into your area and it doesn't meet the needs of the people in the area, it's not going to fly. And so that was one of the reasons why we had to make sure that we asked the questions, that we, listened to the seniors and said, what are your concerns? What do you think we need to do?
Mhm.
We introduced Are You Okay, which was a phone check-in system. That is no longer with us any longer. So we are pushing the Snug Safe. It is an app, and it is something that families can set up on their own. We did the File of Life, which is their little cards or files that you can put in, on your refrigerator, carry in your wallet. They give you all of your medical history and your drugs and everything, so that if something happens and first responders are called in, they have access to information that you keep at hand. They know who your doctors are. They know your medications, things like that.
Have you found these programs to be beneficial?
Yes. The File of Life, we can't seem to keep them in stock, really.
Right.
They just fly off, because those are things that, at one point they had the Vial of Life, which is like a medicine container, and it had all your information. You stuffed it in there and you put the cap on it. But those things were too easy to misplace or not know where to look for them. But with the File of Life, we have, the little card that goes in your wallet, and then we have the bigger one that actually is a
magnet.
Has a magnet on the back of it, so you can go on a refrigerator or something like that. So it's close at hand.
When with the File of Life, is there an indicator? Maybe first responders come into the home of a person that may be unable to communicate. Is there an indicator somewhere, whether it's at the front door or where they say, like, I have a File of Life, it's in my purse, like it's, they can look in their purse, they can look on the refrigerator. Is there an indicator to those first responders that File of Life may be somewhere?
They are trained, the EMS personnel, to look on the refrigerator.
Okay.
Yeah. I think at one point early on, there was a little decal that they could have put on the outside of their home.
Yeah, sure. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that's not the case anymore. But it's important, too, to fill it out in pencil, because medicines change, doctors change, and then you can also update it at, change the date you updated it, so we know that it is current.
Got it.
Also a good idea to let your family know what is this little red thing on your refrigerator, and that you also have a list of your medicines and doctors in your wallet or in your purse. And those are just a couple of things that I would stress. Fill it out completely and just stick it on the fridge, and you're good.
Sure. Sylvia, you mentioned, again, our guests in studio, by the way, Jean Johanns and Sylvia Comfort with the DeWitt County TRIAD program. Sylvia, you mentioned going away from the Are You Okay program to the, what was it called? The
Snug Safe.
Yeah, Snug Safety. Speak to that change a little bit.
Okay, so we had a little issue with, and we were not informed, the company that did our Are You Okay program ceased to function the way it had been. So we had to move away from that program. So the Snug Safety, basically, it's an app. You and your family decide, when would be a good time, or you and I believe law enforcement has been doing this for some people who are have no family, things like that. And you set a time to where the app will send you a message, and you have to return the message. You have to check in, basically. And if you don't check in, they send a message to the people that you have listed as your emergency contacts and things like that. That says, hey, Ted didn't sign in this morning. And then that gives them the information that they need to call and try or look into something, some way to figure out why somebody didn't, it could be something as simple as they slept in and they just didn't hear it.
Right.
Or gone to an appointment or whatever. I will say that Snug, there is a free app, but there is also a more robust app for, I think, $17 roughly a month. And you could add more content to that, more communications, that type of thing. So probably for about the same amount of money or less of a buzzer or beeper, it seems to be working well, and it's just something we would suggest. But you can get the free app, and
now is that something that is, because I know with like the Are You Okay, that was connected with the CENTCOM office, and calls would, or notifications would come into them about a senior's responsiveness and things like that. Is the Snug app, is that connected to the CENTCOM office like the Are You Okay was?
No, this is more personalized for family use.
Okay.
That does not mean that the police department would not, or the sheriff's department, CENTCOM, would not look into a situation where somebody did not respond.
Mm-hmm.
They would most definitely respond to
Right.
something like that.
Sure.
We haven't had that happen yet. It's always one of those things where you hope it doesn't happen, but if it does, we've got it covered.
Sure. Sylvia, you've touched on a lot of things that the senior TRIAD program, the DeWitt County TRIAD program, has done for seniors. Anything else you want to highlight? I know we're going to talk Senior Academy on the other side of the break. Anything from the TRIAD side that you've done, whether it's initiatives, whether it's just education campaigns, anything that you want to highlight we haven't touched on yet?
Well, one of the most important things, and I can't stress this enough, is listening to the seniors and what they need, because their needs change over the years. When we first started, scams were small. Scams are now almost the number one problem. Other situations are if somebody has a specific type of medication in their home, they might end up being a target. So as long as they understand, don't talk about this, educating them on how to safely keep that medication in their home without being made a target.
Very good. Yep.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
so
I'm sorry.
Just things like that, evolving situations, that we don't think about, but that are, pop up.
Sure. Well, Sylvia, I know, again, we mentioned we're going to talk Senior Academy with Jean on the other side of the break. How do folks learn about the TRIAD program, some of the programs, the File of Life, the SNUG? How do they learn about those?
Well, different agencies around the county have the File of Life. So you can get File of Life at the hospital. You can get File of Life at the
Sheriff's
Dove
office.
the Sheriff's office, the police station, the Outreach Center in Farmer City, all of those. And different, the best way if you want information to first get into or talk to somebody with TRIAD is you can call the Sheriff's office, you can call the Friendship Center, because we currently meet at the Friendship Center. They know how to get a hold of Jean, who is our current president.
Okay. Sure.
So, and then any agency that works with seniors.
A lot of ways.
Yeah.
A lot of opportunities to learn more. Very good. Well, on that note, ladies, let's break here. Come back with some more. Again, that's Sylvia Comfort and Jean Johanns with the DeWitt County Senior TRIAD, our guests. We talk more with them coming up on the morning show.
WHOW.
The annual Clinton Apple and Pork Festival, to benefit the DeWitt County Museum's C.H. Moore Homestead, is this Saturday and Sunday on the Homestead grounds on Business Highway 51 on Clinton's north side. Tour the museum and enjoy the over 30 food booths that are operated by local nonprofit groups to support their efforts throughout the year. Events on the square and all over town. Come to Clinton this Saturday and Sunday for a step back in time and tune in to the Big 1520 across central Illinois, 92.3 FM in DeWitt County and 106.5 FM in McLean County. WHOW all weekend for expanded coverage, brought to you by Kirby Foods in Clinton. We're your full-service grocery store. Check out our fresh meat, produce, and deli. Illinois Oil Marketing Equipment, located in Clinton and Pekin, employee-owned and major distributor for many of the leading petroleum equipment vendors. Injured in a car accident? Call Central Illinois Injury Lawyers, a division of Taylor & Lynch, LLC. We fight for the compensation you deserve.
Here's Clinton Save-A-Lot owner Dave Jackson on why you should shop his store.
Well-thought decisions on our pricing and try to make sure that we have the right retail on the right items so that you don't have to go anywhere else. It's just such a fallacy that people think they have to drive out of town and put up with what they have to put up with in these stores, park 2,000 feet from the door and just go through that whole process.
Dave and his staff works hard to save you up to 40% on your food bill every day at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. And as Dave always says,
hope to see you soon.
Scott Baum here from Baum Chevrolet Buick in Clinton. Search our big selection of pre-owned cars and trucks by clicking our icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
DeWittDailyNews.com is the area's leading local news source 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get the latest local news, obituaries, police blotter, weather forecast, and more with no paywall. Head to DeWittDailyNews.com to get the local information you need to know.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Again, in studio with us today, Gene Johanns and Sylvia Comfort with DeWitt County Senior Triad. And Gene, I know the Senior Academy, annual Senior Academy, is right around the corner. Let's dive into that this morning. When's this get started, and what do we need to know about this year's Academy?
Okay. Well, we kick it off on October 8th here in Clinton at the Vespian Warner Library, the room in the lower level. We have two different speakers coming for the day. Cheryl DeWitt from the Warner Hospital and Health Services is going to talk to us about fall prevention. Mm-hmm. We're not talking about the season. We're talking about tumbling on the floor, tripping on the rug. You fall and you can't get up. She's a physical therapist. She did the program previously, and it was very informative. It happens as you get older. Your balance isn't what it used to be. So I find this going to be a really helpful seminar for people. And then after she's done talking, we'll have Sheriff Mike Walker, and he's going to come and talk about senior safety, probably update us on scams, identity theft, financial exploitation, what's happening in the county. He'll provide some information on what you can do if you are a victim of a scam or know of a family person that's having some issues. Okay. Just a very good broad overview of what's happening now, as far as the elderly go. Goldwater Care provides refreshments. So at each of these, there's 3 seminars. You get refreshments, and we have door prizes as well. Okay. So it's kind of fun. It's a fun afternoon. It's from 1:30 to 3. So
all that in an hour and a half.
Yes.
Wow.
So, yeah. It's an action-packed hour and a half.
All right. Yeah, sure. So you said that's October 8th?
Yeah.
Yep. Starts October 8th.
1:30 to 3 at the library.
Uh-huh.
And then from there, we move to Waynesville on the 15th of October, which is also a Wednesday. Same time, 1:30 to 3. And here we're going to have an Illinois Attorney General office come up from Springfield and present a scam awareness. Mm-hmm. We seem to be hitting that pretty hard, but as Sylvia alluded, and for real, it's happening a lot. Mm-hmm. So the more information we can get out, the better we feel about it. Uh-huh. Okay, so that's the Attorney General will speak first, and then the Veterans Affairs Office will also be coming, and they're going to talk about the benefits for seniors. I think the veterans is one organization or a group we would like to get more involved with TRIAD, maybe have some representation and come to our meetings. So that's kind of a focus for us right now. And then in Waynesville, it's at the Methodist Church.
All right.
And our great member, Sherry Ross, is going to do the refreshments for us, and we will also have door prizes there.
Sure.
And last but not least, on October 22nd, we'll meet at the Farmer City Outreach, and that's right across from the Dollar General on Route 54, for those that don't know where that's located. 1:30 to 3 again. That program, the first one, will be using technology to stay independent. Mm-hmm. I saw this presentation, I believe, a year ago, and was flabbergasted at the things and the items and the tools and techniques that they can come up with to help seeing and hearing. And they use a 3D printer to make an artificial arm even. I mean, they have wheelchairs and walkers that you can just have. Mm-hmm. I mean, they provide a lot of things for seniors. They tell you how to make a smart house with things that turn off and on if you can't really turn a light bulb button or a switch. And, it's just amazing. So to me, this is really exciting. Lynette Strode will be doing that program. She'll be coming up from Springfield. And then we'll have Charlie Stobaugh from CHELP here in Clinton. He's Adult Protective Services. Mm-hmm. And he's going to talk about recognizing the signs of financial exploitation. Yeah. Now, we've talked about scams. We've talked about elder abuse and all that. But financial exploitation is a big deal, too. Sure. And fortunately, most of it occurs, or some of it, with a family member, somebody that's maybe coming into the house, has access to checkbooks or credit card, debit card, and that kind of thing. So Charlie's going to update us on that. at the Farmer City on October 22nd.
Sure.
And our member Linda Wilson will be doing the snacks, and once again we'll have door prizes. So
Sure.
it's casual. I mean, you just come and it's just a fun afternoon.
Do you need folks to RSVP, let you know you're coming, or can they just show up?
Just show up. We
Yeah.
know things can happen, you know, and we'll have plenty of chairs, plenty of refreshments, and plenty of door prizes.
Yeah.
We hope for a big crowd, but you know,
Yeah.
whatever happens.
Well, Jean, one more time, just kind of run down the where of all of these and the times.
Okay, our first one, October 8th, 1:30 to 3 at the Vespian Warner Library.
Yeah. And the next one is?
October 15th, Waynesville Methodist Church, 1:30 to 3. And then finally, in October 22nd, in Farmer City Outreach.
Yeah.
And that is on Clinton Avenue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I like about this program, and forgive me, we're coming up on having to let you ladies go, but what I like about it is you're not going to hear the same information whether you come to Clinton, Wapella, or Farmer City. And you can go to all three and learn something new with all of them.
That's our whole hope.
Yeah.
Is to just, you know, make a broad, you know, hopefully to hit somebody somewhere there with something that's important to them.
Sure.
And we might hear maybe one or two of the same things, but you can never hear something.
Too much.
Too much. Yeah.
Especially the scams and exploitation.
Sure. Well, real fast, Sylvia, anything you wanted to mention as a part of Senior Academy? Again, it starts October 10th.
We have a Facebook page, DeWitt County Triad for a Safer Tomorrow. So you just go on DeWitt County Triad on Facebook.
For a Safer Tomorrow. We had one, just called DeWitt County Triad, and we had to let that one go due to nefarious activity. So we had to create the wheel again. And so for Safer Tomorrow.
For Safer Tomorrow. Sure. And I said October 10th. I meant October 8th. I'm sorry. So go ahead. Sorry.
And make sure to like and share.
Yep. Very good.
Join the program.
Yes, definitely. Well, ladies, it's always good to have you in studio. Thank you for making time for us. Maybe we can catch up at the end of the academy and hear how things went. Again, that is Sylvia Comfort and Jean Johanns in studio with us with the DeWitt County Senior Triad program. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube, brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Network News is now.
WHOW.